Okay, we're going over more of the comics I read by picking. So yeah, I'm gonna do it as things of 15 again, as long as I, have 15, and just put on my lap and show them to you. Okay. Oh, also I forgot to say, if they look damaged or are damaged, that's the way that I got them. Because I bought some of these off of like Facebook Marketplace and other online stuff from people who had these comics before. So if they are damaged or look damaged, that's how they are when I got them. Anyway, got Free Comic Book Day, Absolute Power Special Edition #1. Injustice Fallen Gods, even though it's just called Injustice. This is just called Black Adam. Also, I forgot to say, this is not on the DC Wikipedia. The DC, no, at least it's not on the DC Fandom Wiki, nor is this one. But this is also apparently called Black Adam Heart of Decay. And then, I believe this is a variant cover, but this is Black Adam Endless Winter Special #1. And then Tomahawk and his Rip Roaring Rangers #114. I believe a volume 1, and I believe, okay. If I know the volumes, I'll save them. So I believe this is volume 1, and I also believe this is volume 1. This is the Shadow #12, and then we get to my first Damage comics. Like I said, they came this way when I got them. So I wrote it on here. This is the Phantom Stranger, Volume 2, #29. I wrote at the bottom underneath the words, so I know which one it is. It has 2 stories, like a little preview story at the back. But yeah, it came like that when I got it, since I bought some of these off of Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. Since I'm trying to get older comics and, stuff like that. Anyways, next is The Marvel Saga, The Official History of the Marvel Universe #1. And then Ultra Force #2. Wave of Mutation, Load 2 of 3. This is by Malibu Comics. I think a parody of Marvel. But anyways, it then had a TV show at some point by DWI, I think, or IDW, something like that. And also, eventually, it got owned by Marvel. So yeah. And then I have 2 Hulk comics, one after the other. This ain't all my Hulk. I got like a couple, but yeah. The Immortal Hulk #49, Bruce Banner, and Marvel Legacy Return to Planet Hulk Part 1, The Incredible Hulk #709. I don't know what volume they are. I don't know what volume most of these are, okay? This is damn, but it came like that. I tried to fix it as best I could. It's Superboy, I believe, Volume 1, #143, and Superboy Volume 1, #144. There are multiple stories, pretty good though. Free Comic Book Day, Johnny Quest. It comes with Johnny Quest #0. Also 2 previews. A preview to Wildcats #1 and Space Ghost #1. And then I think this is Zumbi #3 is a DC and Milestone comic about religious stuff, I believe, from what I read of it. So yeah. My next 15 is Planet of the Apes Fall of Man, free. I believe it either a preview of it or leading up to a future story it was, but this has multiple different stories in this one, so yeah. And then Tarzan versus the Moonmen, Part 1 of 4, and Part 4 of 4. So in all, I have Tarzan #18 of this, and Tarzan #20. These are Dark Horse. And then I have Star Wars, Dark Horse comic, Star Wars number 20, Twilight 204. My only Star Wars comic. I need to get more of them since I'm trying to get into the Star Wars universe. I have the original 3 movies of Star Wars as well. So, yeah. Speaking of Dark Horse, King Conan. Number 1. The Phoenix on the Sword, part 1 of 4. This is kind of like superhero. And then The Mask Strikes Back, number 3 of 5 of this series. And then, after Watchmen, what's next? The Preacher, number 1 special edition from DC Vertigo. And then, Superman Dollar Comic, DC Dollar Comics, number 1, Superman number 75. So I actually had this the Death of Superman, I have this 2 times. So I also have the collection for that series, so yeah. And then, Volume 1 of Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter, number 6. Batman General, Devil's Riddle, followed up by Batman General, Devil's Massacre. And then, DC Universe Rebirth Green Arrow, number 1. Which I believe is Volume 4 or Volume 3 of Green Arrow. Then, Robin Volume 1. With Robin, number 1 of 5. I also have, I believe, I have this whole series as a collection as well. So, yeah. And then Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 6. And then The Boy Wonder, number 1. This is a variant, one of the variant covers for it, though. So, yeah. Now, the last 15 I have read are The Vault of Horror, number 23, Flashpoint, number 1, The Star-Spangled War, featuring the stories Unknown Soldier. This is number 193 of this series. Also, I believe this is Flashpoint Volume 2, since there was a series before this also called Flashpoint, so this is Volume 2, number 1. And I think this is from Volume 1. So yeah, my first introduction to the Unknown Soldier. Pretty good character. And then Barda, free comic book day, Barda free special edition. And then Namor the Submariner, Volume 1, number 40 and number 48. This is a Cape Star Blast crossover. Okay. And then, World's Greatest Comic, Conan the Barbarian, Volume 2, number 2. And then I have Inferno, issue 1. This is basically a comic book version of Dante's Inferno. It has different stories in it and stuff. Mutant Chronicles, part 2 of 5, I believe, or 7? One of the two. I think it's, yeah. But yeah, I got part 2 of this series. It also came with a card that I have in my collection. And then some funny horror. Free Comic Book Day, Monster High. You know, kid-friendly horror, basically, is what I kind of know. And then The Mask, Southern Discomfort, number 3 of 4. I find it funny how... I find it funny how both Mask series I have is number 3 of that series. So, yeah. And then I have The Max, number 25. I also believe I have this twice, as I have a collection for The Max. And then, speaking of collections, boom. Dead by Daylight The Legion collection. And then Strange Wink. And this is a whole bunch of random stories in one. And then the last one is Tales from the Crypt, the EC Archives Volume 1, which gives the Crypt of Terror issues 17 through 19, and Tales from the Crypt issues 20 through 22. Probably more, actually, but that's what it says on there, so yeah. Anyways, bye for now.